Let me
Yeah.
know if I can share it. Okay, then I'll share.
All right. It's the Big Douglas Show. It is a special Tuesday edition. And we brought on my man from the urban sports scene, Wale. What's up, my man?
What's going on, Doug? Man, it's a pleasure being on, man. I've always vibe being on with you, man. You already know it.
I love it. And we always appreciate you guys coming on for sure. Listen, we took an extra day to kind of look back on this game from Sunday. Uh, do you feel the same way you did after the loss Sunday? It was a game that was out of reach, then was in reach, then was out of reach again.
Yeah.
Was the game actually ever in reach?
I mean, just you had a chance to go tie the game, so it wasn't reach. To be honest, it wasn't reach. It wasn't for the drop pass by Carter. They had a good chance to kind of make it even make it scarier. Before a lot, to me, did they deserve? I guess the question is, did they deserve to be in the game? And I would say no. And I mean that offensively speaking. Not the defense deserved to be in the game. I felt like what they did in terms of what they had to go against with the turnovers and short fields, and the Cowboys basically only really earned like a couple of field goals. You know what I mean? So the defense did their part, especially because a high octane offense, right? The Dallas Cowboys had the best offense in the league according to stats, and they shut them down. They turned Dak over twice. They got a pick six from Holcomb. They did a good job, man. Like they really did. They were great. I don't even want to call them good. I think they were great, and they deserved the win. They deserved to win the football game.
I love that. That's the first time I've heard that. You're absolutely right. Well, they deserved to win.
They deserved it. Like the offense did. They laid an egg throughout the whole offense. I'm not going to put it on just Heineke coaches. The whole offense entirely. You got Gibson fumbling the football. The offensive line wasn't up to par. Wide receivers weren't making big plays other than Cam Sims. I give him credit.
More snaps for Cam, please.
Yeah, more snaps. I'm a De'Ami Brown fan, but I think that we all got to be fair. Like this regime has always talked about fairness, and the individual in limited snaps in Cam Sims has made plays every time you give this dude the opportunity, and he does. To be honest with you, he does have great rapport with Taylor Heineke. If you're moving forward with him as the starting quarterback, he has a good rapport with him. He had good rapport with him in that playoff game against Tampa, and he's had good rapport with him this season. So I just feel like he deserves more playing time. But as a whole, like that offensive side of football, they didn't deserve to be in the game, but that defense deserved to win the game.
And right away, too.
Away,
the offense was not going to have a good game.
It wasn't.
And I hate it when people say that the scheme isn't good enough or built for a comeback. First of all, most teams aren't built for coming back.
18
right?
nothing.
Certainly not 18-0. And again, the quarterback didn't look like he knew where to go with the ball for a large portion of the game. You mentioned the fumble. I mean, the cut-ups are out there everywhere to be found. It wasn't even like some great peanut punch. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
He got tackled and the ball came out, and it happens all the time. And it's always funny, too, because not all turnovers are the same, right? I mean,
agreed.
And all of his are brutal. I mean, just brutal.
They come at the wrong time, man. And that's the thing that's so irritating about it. Because you see the specialness in the way he runs the football. You see it and I've been critical of him, right? I keep it a buck. I've been critical of him saying that he wasn't the most natural runner. But over the last, I want to say after the fumble against wasn't the Raiders. Was it the Raiders? Or was the game before the Raiders?
When they're at the goal line.
No, when he fumbled and then he got benched. What was the game he got benched?
I think it was the game before that.
Yeah, it was the game before that. Carolina. Say Carolina, right? Carolina, right?
Last week was the game he kind of went off.
Yeah. Carolina. And he got benched, and all of a sudden you saw a different animal. Like you saw a different animal running the football. And I was like, oh, this dude, like that's the running back, like hitting the hole, leaning forward. Delivering pain. I mean, once the opponent tries to tackle him, I was like, this is the number one running back. I even said, and I like Jared Patterson, but I even said, like, I see the difference. Like if you're really gonna be honest, you see the difference. Like he can get those extra yards. Like he can be that guy. But this fumbling thing, it's just a big problem because whatever you can make as many plays as you want, in terms of getting yardage or whatever, but if you're not Adrian Peterson good, if you're not Barry Sanders good, like those fumbles hurt. I'm sorry. Like you're not, it's not like you're getting like 150, you know what I'm saying, or 200. You're getting 100, but you're not dominating the football game. I mean, throughout, right? Those dudes could fumble because they're dominating the football game, and you're not. So your fumbles are hindering like your offense. That's already an offense that isn't really able to turn the football over.
Hawk TV here has said, and I agree with him, the fight this team has, that's one thing that you can give to them.
Yeah.
They compete, and I guess that's coaching, and you got to give it to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they could have crumbled easily on that game. And when people start talking about, well, Dallas let up, it's like that old prevent mode, right?
No, they didn't
buy that. You don't buy that, do you? I hate it when people don't do that. Don't say that, because a week ago we watched that Cowboys game and they had a lead and they were willing to pass it away.
Yeah,
people do that.
No, you know why? You know why they didn't like they didn't put the foot off the pedal, because they were still trying to throw the football. That's why Holcomb got the pick six.
That's right.
They were still trying to end it. So no, they were playing to win the football game. The Washington football team made plays. I mean, it's hard to play at that level defensively like they played in the first half throughout the whole game. They were playing at such a high level.
Imagine being afraid of the Dallas defense. Because that was the only thing that gave me pause on Sunday that maybe I didn't realize, particularly with a lot of those dogs back. They were coming to hunt, and that was not what they do. And the offense didn't scare me at all. Did it scare you?
The offense didn't scare me. They scared me initially, but going into the game, they did. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, there's so many weapons that they do have. I felt more at peace that Pollard wasn't playing. That I would say, like when Pollard, when I announced that he wasn't playing, I was like, oh, okay, that's even better. But then, what they did against the, Gallup, Cooper, and Lamb, they did a good job.
On paper, maybe the best trio of wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, for real, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think Lamb and Cooper are special. I think Gallup,
he's going to get paid.
Yeah, he's going to get paid. But I agree with you. It's one of the better, trio wide receivers in football. But, especially, what Amari typically does to Washington, right? He typically always kills Washington, Thanksgiving and whatnot. And they did such a good job. And, I like to give, which is why I like to give flowers to, Kendall Fuller, because I think him moving outside, I don't know how that happened. Like now, how he's playing better outside than he was inside. And for historically speaking, he's normally been better as a nickel corner, but he's been so good outside since they made that move. I made that switch.
And we talked about that before the season started. That was not what we expected, right?
Yeah,
Juice outside and Kendall inside.
Yeah, William Jackson has turned his season all the way around. Like, this is the guy they paid for, so they can now folks can get off his back. Landon Collins, was mixing it up, safety linebacker, and made big plays. Felt bad for him. He got the pick, and they turned the ball right over. Right, they turned the ball right over. It just. I was just so impressed with the defense, but offense, like to your point though, yeah, like that, the Dallas defense is what scared me. But I do think that, there were certain plays out there that could have been had if, and again, I'm gonna say it again, if the offense came to play. Like, there's a reason why Coach Rivera apologized to the fan base. Like, that offense just wasn't ready. They got pressure, but there were players open, even in situations they didn't have pressure within the quarterback with Heineke. Play calling wasn't the best. There were just things as a whole. Running, like even Gibson running the football wasn't sharp enough. There were things as a whole that I felt like, offensively speaking, they didn't do well. They didn't execute offensively. And it maybe
they did not.
Yeah, and maybe it was more because, they got hyped up for Dallas and they just forgot what they were doing prior to Dallas week, right? And I can say this, and I feel like this is true, that McCarthy guaranteeing victory got under Coach Rivera's, got under his skin. And I felt like that may have played some mind games within Coach Rivera. Like, I felt like the team, I'll say Coach Rivera. Coach Rivera was more enamored with trying to stick it up to Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys and doing what actually got him in the game. Because I felt like going for it, they didn't have to go for it. That situation. I felt like that was I felt that was an emotional move. Again, that was an emotional move. I think you're looking at, they brought their bench to FedEx. Coach McCarthy guaranteed a W. They go for two. They're going for two to make it 11. Like, I felt like all that was mental. I know it was like it was an offside, a roughing the kick or whatever it was to move it to closer for them to go for 2. But I felt like all that in play got under Coach Rivera's skin, and that's why he went for it. I felt like a lot of things were out of character. I know he's Riverboat Ron, but a lot of things are out of character in that game against Dallas. And I felt like he got to him. I think Coach McCarthy got to him.
Let me say this. Let's take a quick look at what happened this week, because it's wild. I never seen anything like it. So Mike McCarthy comes out, guarantees a win for Dallas.
Yeah.
And Ron says the same thing he always says, which is, that's interesting, not important, I think is the line. Then every week for home games, Washington does a matchup shirt that they sell. And Dallas wouldn't give them the right to put the star on the T-shirt. That's never happened before. Then they bring, I guess, what our benches didn't warm up to their liking, so they brought their own benches.
Yes.
Like and that has nothing to do with all the blue in the stands. I have never seen a full sunning by the opposition. I mean,
I agree.
And when sun
every which way,
and it was embarrassing. And I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand how the benches get in. I don't understand how we gave them the rights to our logo last time, and they did those T-shirts at their stadium.
Yep,
it's crazy to me, and how anybody from Washington didn't pump their chest up and say, "Nah, this don't work for us." I got a problem with that. And I think that is, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get why. Like, I guess it goes to like the owner, and the owner, being buddy with Jerry, and always want to look up to Jerry. But bro, you gotta have your own. Bro, you gotta be a man. Like, you can't have them come up in here and act like it's sweet. Slack of a better term. I'm sorry, but stuff ain't sweet out here. You can't do that. Like, you can't. You gotta man up. You playing against the Dallas. This is the rivals. You gotta treat them like the rivals. Stuff can't be accommodating. You can't be that accommodating. If the NFL, if you're allowed to do that, then do something behind the scenes that makes it jacked up. Like, you can't have it comfortable for the opponents to come up here.
And if all they do, Wale, is take benches with them to Dallas, I'm be pissed. Like, don't even do that.
Don't even do that. Like,
that would make me even more mad.
No, there's something you gotta go. You have to be extra. You gotta do something else.
That's all they're gonna do is Ron's gonna bring some benches with a W on the side, and it's gonna look stupid. And I hate that.
No, don't copy it. Be original. Do something extra. You gotta be original. Like, they already up the stakes. Like, they up the stakes. I don't even want you to guarantee victory. There's so much, but there's other stuff that you can do, like, to get under their skin. Like, there's so much, like, what you've done, like what they did already. They upped it up. Like you said, they sunned them. They sun Washington. That's what they did. They sun Washington. And you just gotta call it for what it is. But you gotta now bring it up to a point where, as a coach, because I believe that for real, like, I felt like, again, there's certain players that got the rivalry. They played like they were the rivals. Like, the defense played like, oh, they're the Cowboys. We coming to bring some pain, but deliver some pain. But there are certain things you got to do to tell your team to get them ready, and also for yourself as the coach, get yourself mentally ready, like really ready, like so you can focus on the enemy. You know what I mean? It's just like in sports, like when Jordan got past the level of physicality with the Pistons. Then he got to that one time, the time he actually 86.
Because they stunned him.
Yeah, they stunned him. And then what happened? He got mentally right. Yep. And then he was like, you know what? Now it's time for me to stun you off. So it's the same thing. The same thing has occurred in this situation. Like, for Coach Rivera, he got to focus, get his team ready, but also get motivated, and also don't let them know that we here. And to your point, right? Yeah, if it was me and I'm a king, I like to think of myself as a petty individual. That he got to be overly petty. He got to do some overly petty stuff.
As we're sitting here talking about, I think they got to find a way to fill that. Where they have the big Toys for Tots thing there in Dallas.
Yeah,
we just got to fill it. We got to get in there early, fill that thing up with Washington football team wrapping paper packages.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with that.
So when they try to jump in there, it's just all Washington stuff.
You got to do that. You gotta do that. You got it. I'm sorry, but you gotta do some TLs. You gotta do some TL San Francisco to the Star stuff. There's a lot of stuff you gotta do. You gotta do some stuff that's really willing to fight for. Like, you're willing to fight. Like, that's how bad. That's how, to your point, that's how bad they did FedEx. Like, the whole Dallas organization. So I'm just saying, if I'm a Washington player, sometimes it may not have to be on a coach. I'm a Washington player. I'm doing some stuff that's borderline being thrown out. like out the game. I'm being extra. I'm being real extra. Like I score a touchdown. I mean, pregame, I'm doing stuff pregame I'm not supposed to be doing. Like I'm on the Star pregame. I'm disrespecting the whole city of Dallas.
I love it.
I'm on the Star doing whatever. I may still on the Star Indian style, like a kid back in back in kindergarten, just to disrespect, just so they can know we here.
Well, I know you've seen it. I want to do like 5 seconds on this because it's barely worth talking about, but I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
The Twitterverse is out here comparing Parsons to Chase Young. Please tell the people to stop that.
Man, they need
5 seconds. Please tell the people to stop that.
Stop, man. One, they're just too like. You can like somebody without comparing them to the next person. That's all I'm saying, man. Like I like
really?
So everybody knows.
Are you sure there's not a manual says you can't?
Look. I love Parsons. Like everybody knows. I wanted him. I said trade up when I saw there was there's this much to get him. I was like trade up, do it. I don't even care. Like do it. And I like it's the same thing to your point about Chase. You talking about the Parsons Chase? People are doing it with Parsons and Davis, right?
Right. Again, different players.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, let's be factual about this. Everyone has stated, if you're smart and you watch college football and you watch the two individuals, Parsons is better. Like that's not even a thing. Like there's a reason why he drafted that early. There's a reason why teams wanted to get him. He would have been a top 5 pick if it wasn't for stuff that happened outside of football. Like he would have been a top 5 pick. So I don't even like that argument. Stop comparing the two. Don't do that. Like. They're different players. Don't do that. Just because Parsons is better doesn't mean Jameis can't be good. Like Jameis can still be good. Like give him a couple years, and I feel like give him next year, he'll be way better than he is this year. So I don't even need to like the whole Jameis. But to Parsons and Young, they're two different players. They're used differently. But it doesn't mean that Young is anything. Young is going to be great if he wants to be great. I'm going to use that caveat. He can be great if he wants to be great. Parsons rookie year is amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. It's an amazing rookie year, but he's used differently too, though. He's used all around. They've been very creative the way they've used him, and he's making plays.
You know the closest player we have to Parsons right now?
Who?
Landon Collins.
Yeah, the way that you're right.
How they use
a Swiss Army
line him
type.
up in the A gaps. They blitz him on the side. They drop him into coverage.
Very good comparison.
People were upset about, he was upset about the linebacker move, but if he gets even close to Parsons, he ought to be real excited about that. I said this all along. The reasons he didn't like the move was his snap counts went down. His snap counts are back up. I bet you he doesn't mind.
No problem. He better have a problem.
Look, sacks and interception. They had a hell of a day. I think he should be excited about it.
The money is right. The money's gonna be right for him now. He should be happy. So he's a football player,
and he already got paid. Money.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. Like the money's even better now. Like now he's productive on all levels. The money right. Like now he don't got to worry about taking a pay cut because to be real with you, Doug, he just hasn't been good, man. He's been in this short sample size. Since moving to the position, he's been as good as when folks were talking about defensive MVP for the Giants. That's how good he's been. Like he's been that good. He's been that good. So I'm just saying, like
people don't see it, but he has been.
No, he has. He's made plays.
Field at the linebacker spot.
Yeah, I mean, look at the play he made against the Seahawks, which was a key play. That when we created that fumble, just against the last Sunday against the Cowboys alone, a pick. Some sack, like he was everywhere. He's the closest thing. They're using him just like they use Parsons and the other guys that you talk about there can't do it. Yeah. And first of all, and Chase Young's hurt, so please don't even talk about him. And also, I want to tell fans about, but this is gonna be my Micah Parsons, like my man crush on Micah Parsons. He's like, and fans got to understand this, and they both went to the same university. Micah Parsons is like LeVar Arrington, but what we wanted LeVar to be.
Yes, and I like LeVar and how they should have used LeVar.
Yeah, and try to use LeVar, and I like LeVar, and it's not. I like LeVar when he was here. I'm just saying that you could still, if you want to make a comparison, they both rock number 11 in Penn State. But if you really want to, Parsons is that good. Like he's that good. You know what I mean? Like so, it's not again. And Chase Young he has all the skill set and the ability to be that good. You know, he had a good rookie year.
One's an off the ball linebacker, and the other is a
it's just different. It's different. We're talking about different players, man. Like,
well, let's get to talking about your favorite 29-year-old rookie quarterback. Is he had an off day?
Man, off that. Yeah, definitely.
He had a bad day.
Yeah.
Did the offense have that offensive line who has been so good all year?
Yeah, it's a bad day.
Had a bad day. So I guess what I'm getting at is, you know, there's a 4-game win streak. Team looked really good. Everything went. I mean, pretty much everything went their way. I looked at my wife before the game started with this Cowboys, and I said, "This is going to be one of those games where we need the ball
control
bounce our way a couple times." And that shovel pass that was a pass and then wasn't a fumble. That was a tough one.
Yeah,
you know, like things like that changed the game. You think this team is more like the 4-game win team, or this is more what we should have been expecting this team that played against the Cowboys?
No, they're more like the 4-game winning streak team, in my opinion. If they stick to what they can do, I think when they can stick to the game plan. The game plan is don't turn the football over, and you know, try to win the time possession game. You know, some individuals had off days. They were off play calls. It was just the whole team, the whole offense was off. If they don't turn the football over, they're in the football game, right? I mean, you're not giving up X amount of points. You know, you're putting your team back. Like, for instance, prime example, if Coach Rivera punts the football, you play the field position game, Dallas is pinned back because you do have an all-pro punter. You punt that football, field position, the way your defense is playing, you get the ball back. You're not giving any points. Now you get another drive, an opportunity to create points, right? Or to hold the time possession. They're that team, you know, but things happen to the point where, you know, Taylor Heineke was missing throws. You know, I don't think they weren't more stubborn running the football. But again, I do understand to a certain extent. I had a discussion with my brother. We're like, yeah, I knew why he stopped running. I know why he stopped running, because Gibson just wasn't.
It wasn't his day.
It wasn't his day. It just wasn't his day.
And normally that's when they bring in 41.
That's the thing. That's what, to your point, Doug, and that's what I was thinking. It was like, yeah, I'm not the biggest Scott Turner fan, but I do understand that aspect of it. I feel like if the way Gibson was running, I felt like it would have brought in McKissick a change of pace, and that would have made things a lot better. I think he's definitely missed. He's definitely so important to the offense.
They're gonna have to pay him at the end of the
They're gonna have to pay him. Like, really, they're really gonna have to pay him. But I do think, you know, when healthy, you know, having all their backs, they're that type of team that can win an ugly game. I think that's the team that's best capable of winning football games, because if you do, and we've seen this, and this is not, and I think a lot of people feel like this is hating on number 4 on Taylor Heineke, right? They feel like it's hate, but it's a fact.
You either love him or hate him, Wale. You know
yeah, no, but I think it's a fact, though, right? But it's a fact. It's not. And when you overexpose him, what I mean by that is have him throw the football X amount of times. There is a big chance that he's going to turn over the football a lot. Like, that is he is very capable of doing that. Very capable.
You can see he got frustrated at the end and was throwing in the quadruple.
Yeah, exactly. He does that.
Yeah,
he's done that in the past, like, right? But we've seen when Scott Turner has limited him, right? When his limited his throws, he can make that. Now he can get some of those wild plays, right? But now you're not getting. Now you're kind of cultivating that craziness, right? You're taking care of it. So now it's like, all right, you're getting the best Washington football team. Now he's making plays. Now it's like he's making some plays. You run the football. There's an even balance, right? So when you do that, he's a better football player. But fans have kind of like ignored the part of where, well, if you expose him, you know, he can still make. No, he doesn't make plays when you overly expose him. He's not the same guy, you know. And people are like, well, he's won his games in his 4-game winning streak. It's been different. It's been different. It's been kind of reining him in. But on Sunday, he wasn't reined in. He was going back to old Taylor Heineke. Like, for instance, the play that Scary Terry got hurt in. Yeah, he could have caught it. Like, he caught it and hit the ground hard, and we can use that. But You had the short first down if you wanted it. You could have ran for the first down. I saw the play without needing clips. I don't need the clips. I'm over like people don't need the clips.
Also, Wale, if he throws it 5 yards further down the
field,
Terry runs right underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Is that too? But he doesn't have that type of arm. No, we had him beat easily. So then that's another thing. See, and people get mad. So I tweeted this out, and it got a lot of retweets. I was like, dang, y'all treat me like I'm famous. I got a lot of retweets, but I said this, like, I root for Taylor Heinicke. Why? Because if you know me, I like people who compete. That's my thing. I love people who compete and don't care what limitations they have. They feel like they're better than you. And I'm cool with that. I love it. But it's a fact that his arm is weak and it does hinder him a lot. It just does. It's a fact. His arm hinders him. I'm sorry. And
he may be the best backup quarterback in the league.
He may be.
And that's not a knock on him.
That's not a knock on him. But I wish, and it's the fact, I wish that his heart, like his arm matched his heart, because his heart is real. Like, that's real, but it's not good enough to be a NFL starter. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just a fact. It's good enough to win you some football games, but we're talking about being a starter. It's just not. It's just that's not the arm to be an NFL starter. But if you do some things to like kind of hide it a little bit, you can win football games, because then you have to take the role as a manager. Nothing wrong with being a manager. The rookie, the offensive rookie of the year in New England is a manager. He's a manager. He's a manager. He's a manager.
Tom Brady's a game manager.
Yeah, Tom Brady, when he
the greatest game manager.
Yes, in the beginning, if you watch the beginning of Tom, the real beginning of Tom, that's right. That was a manager. Russell Wilson was a manager. Okay, like, that's what it is. So it's nothing wrong with managing a football game, and he can win if you manage. He can win games if you manage, because especially the way the defense is playing and the way the run game. When you have all your horses, how the run game works, you could take advantage of the short passing game. You know what I mean? There's so many things you could take, and then you can hit Scary, because he's like, Scary is still unguardable when healthy. He's unguardable, so you can still hit Scary and then still be okay. So, to me, you can win football games by managing and playing the way they were playing. But when Taylor Heinicke tries to be Brett Favre, that's not a good look. Just not a good look.
Now, the only thing you and I do argue back and forth about Scott Turner. Yeah. I'll say this, though. I don't understand the very first play when Allen comes out, boot motion, he rolls out. I wish they would do more of that with Heinicke. I'm not exactly sure why they don't more RPO scheduled run stuff with him, because it feels like it would open up the offense a little bit more.
I agree
from a defensive standpoint.
I agree. I don't know if he trusts him to not get hit, because I think I like, because again, it goes back to what I do like about him. It's a gift and a curse. He's once he gets out there, do you really trust him to make the right play in terms of not taking a hit? I mean, he's been sliding well, but if he sees a lot of open field, he's the guy. He's a legit playmaker. That's what I do like about him. His heart is real. Like, I love his heart. Like, he's trying to win. You see it. You see it in his face. He's ready to compete. And I think that's why a lot of fans are in love with him. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, to your point, Doug, it's either you hate him or you love him. Even as a supporter. Right? It's like either you hate him or you love him. Like, you're like, God, I love his heart. Like, he just fights all the time. And then when you turn the football over, then you kind of turn on him a little bit, right? So it's just like, it's the same thing applies like to that point with Scott Turner. I do think that the reason maybe why he doesn't run it is because he doesn't want him to take that unnecessary hit, and that's why he does it. But I'm with you. I think that he needs to do it more. He's mobile. You know what I mean? Like, he's a mobile quarterback. He's a very mobile quarterback. Take advantage of it a lot more. But I do think there's a little bit of, he doesn't want him to get hurt type of thing.
And just for the record, barring injury, people saw Kyle Allen, got a little excited because everybody always loves the next guy.
No.
It'll be Heinicke until the season's over, barring injury. I think.
That's definitely. I think there is a difference, though. I will say this: like, there is a difference. And I agree with you.
Allen's got a cannon now.
That arm is it's a cannon compared to Heinicke. Like, that's called a cannon. Exactly. That's not called a cannon. Folks I see a difference in the arm strength. It's because you've been seeing like this water pistol for like how many games now? Like 13 games you've seen a water pistol. I get it. Like, I understand. Like, I get it. But still, like, let's pump our brakes. Like, Allen's arm is better. Yes, it's better. And so when you see it and you see the zip, you're like, oh, shoot. He should be playing. Like, that'd be easy. Like I would still personally take Heineke over Allen because I like Heineke, but I do acknowledge that there's certain passes that the dude can't make that that Allen can. I just get annoyed. Huh?
I'm not going to ever be 200 pounds. You know what I mean?
Shut up. Shut up.
The man is not going to throw a 70-yard strike.
It's just that I think it just annoys people. Like the play that happened to Terry, like that play. That was what annoys people. To your point, where Terry was beat and you got him hurt. You got him hurt. You got him hurt, man. Like, and he does that, and that's why I guess that was my issue too with the passes that you mentioned up the middle. Like he was trying to get boys killed. Like I don't like luck. I mean, they were going for picks, but just say that somebody was in play to try to make a play. Like, dude, them say like you floated a ball up the middle with like four Cowboys. One could have tried to take that. One could have took that liberties with you, man. One could have took that. They could have took the liberties with you.
And Gibson open underneath on that play too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and to your point, and to your, we all, I argue with you about Scott Turner and whatever, but you always talk about, having a quarterback to make plays. The guys were running open. Like, so in terms of play design, like, yes, the people were wide open. So that's my thing. It's just
I was a fan of the new guy that they got running the ball. I can't even think of his name.
My Williams. Williams.
Good.
Oh, I liked him. He ran hard.
He needs more snaps.
Yeah. So, but again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens if you get McKissick back. Like, what's going to happen? Patterson ran well too. Patterson, obviously Gibson and Gibson. McKissick
sit him down for the fumbling.
I know. He's going to play though. He's going to play. You
and I are not doctors, so we're not going to sit here and try to sort out who gave everybody COVID or not. But it's a deal. It's an issue. There's more.
I think everybody knows. I think everybody knows who gave what. I think people have an idea who gave it to who.
I got opinions again. I'm not here to give out COVID cards, but they're down to like the 5th or 6th DN now, and it was a problem. It was a problem on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely was a problem.
It surprised me about that defense. They were missing a lot of pieces. In general, this team has missed a lot of pieces. I respect them for the next man up mentality, and they deserve credit for it. Some of that showed its head against the Cowboys. Now, what I'll say is, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, it feels like we'll see the Cowboys again. I get that. We'll play the Giants. The two Eagles games feel like they set up for what, and the Giants feel like it's set up for what we like to do.
Yeah, I think the Eagles
can play defense and run the ball against the Eagles and win a time of possession battle and feel good about winning those games in a way where it was like, I think even a lot of people thought Washington beat Dallas, and I think it should have. I still think they were set up to be able to do that. Not on Sunday. They didn't play well on Sunday. I meant before, like the rationale behind why they could win was reasonable. They didn't, and they got stuck.
Yeah.
But I think against the Eagles, they got the opportunity to play this style of ball they like to. Do you feel that way?
I think the Eagles do, but the only issue I have with the Eagles game is that they have the Jalen Hurts plays. I don't like how Washington plays against mobile quarterbacks. That bothers me.
Yeah, they're better suited to play against those quarterbacks now.
Yeah, they are, but who's the last mobile quarterback they've seen though? You know what I mean? Like you're right, they're better suited, but who's the last mobile quarterback? Like Russ, but he don't run anymore. He don't run anymore, but he don't really run anymore like he used to. But Jalen Hurts has design runs. This is different though. These are design runs. Like that's what bothers. He's design runs. So it's like I'm with you. No, I'm with you. Like I feel like it's definitely it definitely could be a favorable matchup. There are favorable matchups, but I'm like just that alone, like that scares me because Daniel Jones, the whole Daniel Jones thing still like resonates in my mind, like how he can run for like X amount of yards and like now and
Dak didn't run for a ton.
He don't run anymore though. See, since the people on Pete Gang, since he has the knee, he is not as mobile as he used to be. Yeah. He's really not. He's not. The only so there. This is the first true, to me, in my opinion, where their quarterback. This is a guy who runs first, like totally runs first. So that scares me. Other than that, I'm with you. I feel like there are matchups that Washington should win out, but it's going to definitely be prevalent. It's going to be important for folks like Jamin Davis, Holcomb to keep their eyes on Hurts, because I think
and the
that
ends.
matchup hurts.
That's the other thing that'll be.
Well, these ends aren't as like
fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh string.
That
ends
too.
When you talk about design runs, that's the important.
Yeah,
that's the biggest part, right? Is the ends and knowing their assignments and staying true to them. So I think that'll be the other fascinating thing to see is who plays. Allen's not going to play. That would be terrible.
Yeah, that hurts.
Did you see Allen only played like 50% of the snaps on Sunday? It was odd when I saw that.
Yeah, maybe was he sick already? I don't know. That hurts.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, the blessing is though, as great as Jonathan Allen's been, and he's been amazing. Like in terms of D tackle, they played all three. They played all three of them together, but which has helped not having Chase and Montez. But the blessing is that you do have depth, right? You do have depth in that position. Like you have Payne, you have Ioannidis, Payne has been playing amazing football of late too. Ioannidis too. He looks healthier. Ioannidis, and now Settle gets to get more burn. So I mean, you felt comfortable with Settle last year. He had about like 6 sacks last year or something like that.
Somebody's going to pay him at the end of this year too.
Yeah, somebody's going to pay him too. Yeah, he's going to pay him. So he's not going to be watching this after this year. I agree. I totally agree. So you're going to have an opportunity. I mean, I feel like you're still able to do some things. Not as good as Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen's an animal. Not to say I think Ioannidis and Payne have the ability to have Allen performances. Definitely Ioannidis, because Ioannidis is for a while has been the best interior anyway. But I do think that Settle, giving him more burn, you should be okay. Like you're still gonna miss Jonathan Allen because he's been that good this season. He has been that good.
Yes.
But you can
all pro, not Pro Bowl for Jonathan Allen.
All pro, everything. He deserves everything to me. He deserves everything. He deserves all recognition this year. All recognition this year. And so I feel like you can do that. I still have issues with Shaka Toney. I like Shaka Toney, but I want to see how those ends play, like you said, and play structured football when they see this mobile quarterback, because they're gonna run a lot of read option. They're gonna be
Shaka Toney's a linebacker.
By the way. I know, but he's gonna be rushing there. And I know he's a 3-4. He's a 3-4. He's a 3-4 linebacker. He's a 3-4 linebacker. But you're gonna have to I feel like there's some things you can do, but I feel like there's some things that these interior dudes allow you to do anyway. Like because somebody like when you have all three of them, when you have all three of them and if all healthy, these ends are allowed to kind of just do their thing. So we'll see. I do think, but on the offensive side of football, I mean, the Eagles got a good they got a good D line. They've always have. You still got Fletcher Cox.
I'm surprised. I really saw that Eagles being like a 3-win team. Like
I know it's good coaching. They did a good job. But
I think
it's a good job. It was a good job, man. It really was. And they're strong. Like if you look at the wins, and like that's the thing. This game scares me. I won't lie, it does scare me because if you look at the wins, there's some very impressive wins. And if you look at some of the games they were in a lot of games, man. They've been a lot of games.
Hurts is a gamer.
Huh? He's a gamer.
Talk about a gamer.
He's a gamer. He's not the sexiest quarterback. He's not the sexiest. Yeah, he's a winner. He's not the sexiest quarterback. He's not. Believe me, I've seen him throw. He's not the sexiest quarterback, but he just wins football games. He wins. So you got to give him his credit. So it's going to be a tough one, man. It really is. But if Washington goes into this game, they'll turn the football over.
Well, it's theirs to win now, right? I mean, it's basically playoff start right now.
Yeah, for everybody though, for the Eagles too.
Sure.
So it's energy. The energy is going to be lit. Like both teams, they need to win this game. Like this is a must win for both teams. So I hope Washington comes into this game like. I hope the defense keeps the same energy they had here, and I hope the offense. And I hope the offense learns from, hey, we gotta be better. We gotta do better, be better. We gotta be more prepared. Maybe I don't know if they would feel themselves after their 4-game winning streak. I don't know, but that got to change. You got to whatever happened on Sunday, you burn that tape for the offense. You burn that tape.
All right. Well, I know I've been keeping you from better things than this, but before
you my guy, not better things. You my guy.
Tell the folks what y'all got coming up on the urban sports scene and the all burgundy and gold everything.
Appreciate you, Doug. We tonight we're live. We're gonna have the homie from Sports Journey Washington football team reporter,
Yeah,
Lake
man,
Lewis
Lake
Jr.
Lewis.
He's going to be on. So we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this game and the Eagles game. We're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about some boxing, and we're going to talk some about the Wizards, the recent struggles of the Washington Wizards. So you can check you can check us out at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live.
They got to shut real quick. They got to shut Dinwiddie down for a little bit, right?
They should though. They should.
He's not. He doesn't look right.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't be rush him anyways. ACL injury. He's a basketball player with an ACL injury. There's no need to rush him. The Golden State Warriors aren't rushing Klay Thompson, are they? Exactly. See, you can check us out at
ball games.
Yeah. See, try it. Maybe you can do the same thing. You got Bradley Beal, supposed to be like your new John Wall. Anyway, you can check us out at www.urbansportscene.com to catch the live show, and also you can, if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we're all podcast platforms, and like my man Doug mentioned, the all burgundy and gold everything sports with the Urban Sports Scene podcast covers the Washington football team. We're gonna record later tonight. We'll talk about this game as well.
Tell the fellas I said what's up, man.
I will, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Takes me forever to get over